Happy Brew Year, everybody. It's too late for New Year, so happy Brew Year.
Cheers, but not quite. It's a coffee. So good morning. Welcome to my first brew day on a very grey, drizzly day here in the UK. So today I'm going to be brewing a porter because whilst the Christmas season has passed, we haven't quite hit the cold weather that we usually expect to get around that time of year. So I'm brewing a porter now so that in a couple of weeks' time, when the really cold weather hits, I've got something at home that I can come home to, pour myself a pint of, and feel warm and rosy. The recipe we came up with here, don't worry, I'll put it on the side of the screen now so you can see it with me, is a recipe for an English porter, but it's going to be quite strong. Hopefully getting over 6% on this. It's called Rise of the Phoenix, Hops and Glory, and you'll see why as we go through the recipe. But basically we planned to have a target original gravity of around 67, something like that. As it's a porter, we're going with the typical measures of what you would get in a porter in terms of the bitterness. So we're aiming for 25, quite high. Colour, about 40 on the EVU chart. I've chosen to go with an ale yeast. And the grain bill for this one is pale malt, wheat malt, crystal malt, and some chocolate malt as well. We've gone for about 82% on the pale malt, 10% on the crystal malt, 5% on the wheat malt, and 3% on the chocolate malt. Now that translates into 4.7 kilograms of pale, 0.3 kilograms of wheat, 0.62 kilograms of crystal, and 0.23 kilograms of chocolate malt. But yeah, back to the title and why we've had to change a few things. Yesterday when I went to my homebrew store, they didn't have the hops that I wanted. They only had a select range of hops in stock. So I've had to take out the Phoenix, Cluster and Willamette hops, and we've gone for instead Styrian Golding and Cascade. So we've gone for some hops that will give it a nice spicy, earthy taste. But the Cascade hops will then also give it that floral, lychee, fruity, spicy kind of flavour. So we were going to go for something that was, really chocolatey, really dark spice, really, dark berries, that sort of thing. But we're going to have to change it up a little bit because basically I wanted to get this brew done and dusted so that I could move on and do other things. This will be going into a cask, not into any bottles, so looking forward to that as well. It will be the second time I've attempted to do a cask, because the first time I put my brew in the cask, I flew off to America for a couple of weeks and I came back and it was all over the place. It had exploded. So we're going to try and do that again with keeping a better eye on it. I've got my Mangrove Jack's heat pad, which I'll be using to control the fermentation temperature of this, probably in the shed. And yeah, that's it. While I have my coffee, I'm going to clean up all the equipment we need and I'll get back to you when I'm measuring out the grain bill. But, oh yeah, one more thing. Stay tuned to the end of the video because what we're going to do is we're going to review my Cooper's Cerveza that I did just before the Christmas holidays. That's been fermenting, bottling and conditioning, and it will be ready to go. So we're going to try that today. So yeah, looking forward to that. Right, I will see you in a moment. Ooh, it's cold.
Now, just to run you through a few things, we have my hot liquor tub there, which is got my mash water in. It's up to temperature. The light has just come back on actually, so that's keeping my water at around 72 degrees. I filled it with 15 litres, but in the recipe I'm using 14.5. But I thought while I'm washing up, it'll probably get to temperature before I'm finished, so the extra half a litre is there just to, account for any boil off that I might get, but I don't think it will be a lot of that temperature. Yeah, cleaning up some other stuff, hoses and whatnot. Got all my pale, so I bought 6 kilograms of pale malt, but we're only using 4.6. And then I've got my crystal and I've got my chocolate malt, and I have some wheat malt in the cupboard there that I'm going to add as well. So yeah, going to get that into my bucket, and oh yeah, as well, got some hot water in my mash tun Just getting that up to a nice ambient temperature so that we don't lose too much heat in the transfer. But the next thing we'll be putting in the grains for the mash. So let's measure them up, let's get them in. So here is the grain bill, all mixed in. Just to recap, I'll put the measurements up on the screen beside it now so you can see what's in here. But we're about to start our mash. Let's do it. Okay, so we've managed to maintain a temperature inside the cooler box of about 60 degrees, slightly above it, so that's pretty good. I'm just gonna get rid of this water from there into the sink, transfer the water from the boiler into the mash tun, and then we'll mix the grains, and then we'll begin our 1 hour mash. So here is the mash. That looks like a lovely consistency to me. No dough balls. Happy with that amount of water as well. So yeah, we're gonna close it off and begin our 1 hour mash. Whew. So yeah, that is now tucked away for the hour. What we'll do in the meantime is we'll just get the next stage ready. We'll boil our sparge water. We'll get that up to temperature so that it's ready to sparge when the mash is done. We'll just do a bit of housekeeping, cleaning up a little bit, and then we can go and try the cerveza that I brewed just before the Christmas holidays. So I'll be with you in just a minute. Woo! I am so excited right now. I have my bottle of Cooper's cerveza. So this was a work pack, ready-made home kit, whatever you want to call it. And it was something I've never done before and something I wanted to do because I was going on holiday before Christmas, and I thought that, you know, I don't have time to do a full mash brew day, so we'll do one of these. I bottled this on the 15th/16th of December. It fermented for about 6 days, 6 or 7 days in my house, at 18 degrees Celsius, just right behind me there. I had my Mangrove Jack's heat pad, which monitored the temperature and kept it at about 18 to 19 degrees throughout the whole week, which was prime fermentation temperature. So yeah, really happy about the way that little bit of kit works. I actually made about 26 litres of this, but I had to throw about 6 or 7 litres of it away, maybe even a little bit more, because I just didn't have the time. I got home from work, and the bottling just took so long. I bottled about 20 bottles of this. Some this size and some the smaller size, but yeah, been looking forward to tasting this for so long. Let's just get it open. Hopefully, got a nice clear pint glass here, but hopefully, I mean, it looks really clear. It's got a nice colour. When I bottled it, it was almost like a hooch colour. It was almost like, you know, kind of a luminous lemon citrus colour, but it seems to have really cleared out in the bottle. Hopefully the sugar drop has carbonated it well. Let's listen. Oh, nice hiss. Some nice bubbles rising to the top. There you go. A little bit of a head. Let's pour it in. To be fair, that smells quite nice. Look at that. Decent head. It smells clean, it smells crisp, it smells fresh. Nice head on that. Not very lively in the glass, but still doing its thing. Let's have a taste. Bubblegummy. Bitter end. There's that very faint smell of either washing up liquid or sanitizer. We'll call it a clean smell because that's what it smells like. It smells really clean. It's not left me with a strong bitter taste. We'll drink again. That's got a fruity taste. it's more sweet than bitter, but now the bitterness kicks in. Now I feel it going down the side of my tongue, down the sides to where my glands are. It finishes bitter at the back of the mouth. But yeah, I mean, a good colour. I'm pretty happy with that as a batch of beer, to be honest, to drink at home out of a bottle when I come home from work. That could go down so easily. I would put it near to a kind of Carling, Foster's. I wouldn't say that it tastes like a Corona, but I would just say it's like a lager with a kind of fruity, bubblegummy flavour. See, I always wonder if that flavour that I can taste, which I term the homebrew flavour, I wonder if that's the yeast. I was so happy with the process on this brew. The way it went, the way it fermented, everything. And looking at it, I absolutely think that that's turned out to be a great beer. But maybe it's just me getting used to that flavour. It'll be great to compare this to the porter that I'm doing now and see if I get that homebrew flavour, but all the differences with the malts that I'm using and the hops as well. Anyway, cheers. I'm gonna nip off and enjoy the rest of this and come back when the mash is done and we'll get the sparge going and into the boil. Right, cheers. The one thing I can say about this brew is that it is at 4.6%, quite alcoholic. As you can see behind me, I've raised up my hot liquor tub just to get the gravity flow down the tube into the mash tun a lot more efficient. From there, we'll put the sparge water into the mash tun, and then I have a bucket just down below to catch the wort. I've added 16.5 litres to the hot liquor tun. So that added to the 15 before is around 32-ish litres of water. Now we're expecting some loss in the mash. But if I can get, somewhere between 27 and 30 litres into the boil off, that'll be great. That's what we're expecting to achieve. So yeah, that's all set up. The alarm should be going off for the boil in about the next few minutes. I'm just waiting for that now and enjoying my beer. So we'll get back to you when we're sparging. Cheers. Do you know what? That's growing on me. It's really nice. That is coming out almost like chocolate. Look at that. I don't know if you can see that as well as I can, but that is coming out almost like chocolate, and it smells very nice as well. Alright, I think we'll begin the sparge. Sparging's completed. We've managed to collect 27 litres for the boil. Tipped it to get every last bit out of there. But yeah, we're outside now. A lovely dark wort. Did the pre-boil gravity check and that came at 1.050. So we'll do another original gravity check after we've done the boil and we'll see where we're at then. But yeah, so boil now for 60 minutes. We'll be back when we introduce what hops we're going to put in. Okay, so I'm just going to clean up, clear all this mess, and get back to you when we put the hops in. All right, nice one. So just a quick one on the amount of spent grains that you are left with after your mash. It's always probably a good idea to give them away to a farm if you live near one, so that the horses or whatever animals they have there can eat them. But on this occasion, what I've chosen to do is make my dog some dog treats. So for the first time ever, we have a bunch of dog treats made from the spent grain. The recipe, I'll put it down below, but it basically is just the grains after the mash, some flour, and I've used almond milk to help as a binder in replacement of an egg. There's loads of stuff on the internet for this, but yeah, looking forward to these. And as you can hear it, so is Lando. So yeah, looking forward to how they work. Hey Serena. But yeah, good idea, huh? Okay, perfectly now. So we're at the boil. We're just gonna put in, I think it's 16 grams of Styrian Goldings hops. So they're going in for 60 minutes. Woohoo! Nice. Okay, so I've measured out the second hop addition. It's Cascade, not a lot, 16 grams. Veering off the recipe slightly, it should be around the 11 grams, 11 to 12 grams of hops that I'm using here. 20 minutes left to go in the boil, so these are going to go in now, and we'll just see what that's like. Here we go, and we'll add these now. Racking it off through my siphon, because I forgot to put the filter on the bottom of the HLT, so try my best to not get any of the hops or malt sediment into the fermentation tub. That's why we're doing it like this, but it looks to be pretty good. Nice colour, dark brown, red, black colour. Oxygenating the wort as we go, and we'll pitch the yeast and then begin fermenting. Okay, so the end of the brew day, we have racked off into the fermenter behind us. We got just below 20 litres. The target batch size for this was 22 litres, so we're about 4 litres, I'd say, short of that. Took an original gravity just as I was racking into this fermenter, and the original gravity has come back at surprisingly low, 1.030, or about 1.029. So hopefully it's going to taste okay. This was just for me to be able to get my first recipe done and in the bag. I've only done kits that I've pre-bought up until now, so to actually go through the process of thinking about what I want, measuring it out, thinking about the numbers, that's been quite interesting. Not easy by a long shot, something new for me to take on board, and I don't think it'll sink in and become a natural kind of thing for me to do until I do a couple more brews at least. But yeah, happy days. We're currently sitting at 17.3 degrees. My target temp is 18.5 degrees, but I've just done that setting. I'm going to wrap it up as well in a towel just to hopefully give it some insulation, because it is pretty cold in here. I think the actual ambient room temperature of this place now is about 10 degrees, maybe 7 degrees, 7 to 10 degrees. So yeah, anyway, if you've managed to get this far with me, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope that, you know, it's entertaining and informative. Hopefully everyone can take something away from it. I would love, sniffling here, I would love to have some comments and some feedback and some advice about how I can improve my brew day. But yeah, until the next one, where hopefully I will also be reviewing this one. Right, thanks for watching, and I will see you all soon. I'm about to go in and have a Yeasty Boys stout that I bought the other day, so I don't have it on me now, but I will say cheers to you all and see you soon.